Sally, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Saili, and today I'll be presenting key regulatory updates from the past week from 19th February 2025 to 26th February 2025. The FDA has officially escalated the recall of over 2.4 million cases of made good granola bars due to contamination with metal bristles. While the recall was initially voluntary in December 2024, the FDA has now classified it as a Class 2 recall, meaning it possesses a moderate risk to consumers. Several flavors, including choco chip, mixed berry, and strawberry, are affected. While there have been seven consumer complaints, no injuries have been reported. Next, let's go over some major designations granted by the FDA between February 19 and 2025. The FDA grants breakthrough therapy designations to treatments that show substantial improvement over existing therapies based on early clinical evidence. This means that these treatments will receive priority review, increased FDA guidance, and faster development timelines. Key breakthrough therapies include HyperView X-ray system, a next-generation breast cancer imaging system designed to improve detection accuracy; Skin TE, a regenerative skin graft therapy for diabetic foot ulcers, helping wounds heal faster; Petosemtamab and Keytruda, a new combination therapy for head and neck cancer that enhances the immune system's ability to fight tumors. The FDA grants fast track designation to therapies that address serious diseases with unmet medical needs. While it doesn't guarantee approval, it allows faster communication with the FDA and early regulatory feedback to speed up development. Key fast track therapies include RZ001, an RNA based gene therapy targeting liver cancer, 67 CUSAR BIS PSMA, a radioactive therapy for advanced prostate cancer designed to target PSMA positive tumors; SIGX 1094, a novel treatment for diffuse gastric cancer discovered using AI driven research models. On February 21st, 2025, the FDA approved Texley as the first treatment for CTX, a rare genetic disorder affecting cholesterol metabolism. CTX leads to abnormal fat accumulation in tissues, causing neurological and systemic complications. In a 24-week clinical trial, Texley has shown to reduce plasma cholestanol levels, which indicates better cholesterol processing. This breakthrough grants Myrum Pharmaceuticals 7 years of market exclusivity. This approval marks a major advancement for patients with CTX who previously had no FDA approved treatment options. On February 22, 2025, the FDA announced that it is reinstating approximately 300 scientists after recent workforce reductions. These layoffs, initiated under the Trump administration, affected key regulatory staff, including those reviewing medical devices and projects like Neuralink. This move is intended to restore the FDA's ability to oversee critical medical and pharmaceutical approvals. However, some scientists have hesitated to return, citing concerns over job security and government stability. The reinstatement reflects ongoing regulatory adjustments at the FDA, ensuring that key approvals are not delayed due to staffing shortages. On February 24, 2025, Kyle Damiantis was appointed as the acting Deputy Commissioner for Human Foods at the FDA. In this role, he oversees the agency's Human Food Program, which is responsible for food safety, nutrition policies, and emergency response efforts related to human foods. His role includes critical responsibilities such as resource allocation, risk prioritization, and strategic decision making to ensure food safety compliance across the country. Additionally, he oversees food resources within the FDA's Office of Inspections and Investigations, ensuring regulatory enforcement aligns with the national safety objectives. As the FDA's top food executive, Damiantis is responsible for shaping U.S. food policy. He serves as a key liaison between the FDA, the Department of Health and Human Services, the White House, and the International Food Regulatory Organization. In this update, we are talking about Pfizer's recent appointment of Dr. Patricia Cavazzoni as the new Chief Medical Officer. Dr. Cavazzoni previously led the FDA's Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, which is evaluating new drugs and therapies. Her appointment raises concerns about the revolving door between the regulatory agencies like the FDA and the pharmaceutical industry. This highlights ongoing concerns about the balance between regulating the industry and avoid any bias or improper influence in drug approval process. On February 24, 2025, the FDA approved Medtronic's BrainSense adaptive deep brain simulation system for Parkinson's disease. This innovative system adjusts to real-time brain activity, allowing for more personalized and responsive management of Parkinson's symptoms. By continuously monitoring brain signals, the device can adapt to the patient's needs throughout the day, improving symptom control and potentially enhancing the patient's overall quality of life. This approval is a significant advancement in treatment methods and offers a more dynamic option for nearly all the patients affected by Parkinson's disease. And that's wrap up this week's regulatory updates. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Sally.